like, yo, such and such happened. My bad. You know what I mean? Like, you met him through me. You know what I mean? You cut into him. You didn't say nothing to me. There's like so many little small rules got broken, and then when that happened right there, it was like that was like the blow to our
Hold on.
friendship.
When you said you cut into him, you never introduced him to Marshall Mathers?
No, I'm talking about my man,
I
Yellowolf
mean,
and the engineer.
okay, you never introduced your engineer to Yellowwolf. He cut into your engineer.
Yeah, well, I introduced him here,
Okay.
and then he went home and liked some of the beats, so he ended up calling my engineer like 6 months later.
Right.
And when they started to talk, he cut into him about like trying to sign him and like,
Yeah.
you know, if I meet somebody through
He
you,
violated
you know what I mean?
codes.
Like,
He violated codes.
so I just looked at it like, man, maybe he from a different culture. I ain't gonna trip, but that's kind of I felt like it was kind of corny. But when he went down there and some things happened, I told myself I wasn't gonna air it out because I don't want to like. It's very difficult for me to do things, man, and in my mind, I feel like it's a possibility that it can be taken as I'm trying to use it as some sort of vehicle to sell something or like subscribe to some type of controversy. Like I'm not really into that, you know what I mean? Like, but what he did, I felt like I needed to address him publicly because that's the only way I really could deal with it. If I had dealt with it on some personal shit and just made a move on him, then I would have been like, I would have been taking it too far for who he is. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
You know what
I
I
get
mean?
that.
Like it was the only way I could handle it. I had to speak to him on some MC shit, but I had to let him know you being held accountable because these guys, man, like they run around in this shit, man, and they're very disrespectful with the art form, and I care about the culture. You know what I mean? And I just feel like when he came into the game, he was about 3-6 Mafia. He was about being a student of the game, and then sometime somewhere along the line, he just flipped into some other shit, and that's cool too. Evolve into what you evolve into, but Biggie and Pac ain't died, so you could just be disrespectful to just everything that is us. We created this shit, and on top of that, there's a certain level of respect that I just expect just from my friends, like
Right.
people who I just got relationships with. I wouldn't command nothing from you that I'm not willing to reciprocate to you. You know what I mean? Like, and I would have called anybody that I'm have any type of relationship with. The first thing I would want to do is call and clear my name,
Right.
and not have certain things on my name. Like to not call me is just it's to really just feel like, nigga, you really feel like you got a guaranteed spot in this culture. Like,
Right.
I personally feel like I could remove you from the culture. That's just how I feel.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think sometimes guys got to get reminded of that, man.
Now, when you say sometimes you have to remind people of being in this culture, and you speaking of, in this instance, Yellowwolf, who's white. We've had my man Lord Jamar, close friend of mine, say that Eminem's reception or Eminem's presence in this culture isn't what it should be, or it might be taken out of context. Do you feel that your perception or your the way you looking at Yellowwolf and the way that Jamar's looking at Eminem, guests in the culture, is similar?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely similar. The thing with me is, like, I wouldn't frame it that way when referring to somebody just because it don't really fit who I like me. You know what I mean? I just don't talk like that. But it's a similar ideology that we share.
Got it.
But I'm not like, it wasn't really about that with me. To me, it was just about respect.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was about respect, but that part of it just happens to coincide with it.
Okay.
It all goes together. But really, the main thing I was kind of tripping on was just like, man, like I thought you kind of knew me. I thought you knew better than that, my nigga. You done been to Detroit, like
they not from the culture. So
yeah, man. It's
some
like
things that they might forget along the way.
dog. I was just like, man, dude. And then he put up a post like some tough guy shit. I was just like, bro. At that moment, I knew to start kind of finding me an exit out of this.
That whole situation.
Yeah,
right.
because come on, man. That's not a reality. That's not a real thing. You
Me
know what
and
I'm
you
saying?
beefing
Yeah,
and shit,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so But I think my point got across. He ended up reaching out. He wanted to get on the phone with me, but I didn't talk to him because I didn't. To me, it's the same entitled behavior.
Right.
You know, now you want it to, now you want it to stop.
Right.
You know, you want it to stop now because nothing else worked, and it's like, that's cool too, man. You know what I mean? Like, just understand, like, this is a pass.
Right.
Like, I don't have a malicious bone in my body, bro. Like, if I put more energy into keeping him safe, man. Just being honest. Just being honest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't want to hurt nobody.
Right.
I'm not asking nothing that I wouldn't. I'm not asking for